We're here today just to kind of talk a little bit about a new initiative that we have with the organization called CARE. What does CARE stand for? So it's collaboration, accessibility, reliability, and empathy. What we're trying to do is establish some structure and standards so that we can be much more deliberate about the service that we provide to our customers and to each other. So Tom, I was hoping you might be able to start us out and talk a little bit about where this came from and why you think it's important for us.
Thanks, Amy. For quite a while, we've been talking about service ever since I became president. I think service goes to doing the unexpected, doing things that customers don't expect. And I don't think it accidentally happens. I think it happens as a result of focusing on it, training, and talking about it constantly. And we're here today to kind of reinforce why I think it's important that the bank develop a culture of service.
I think exceeding expectations could be something as small as you tell the customer that you're going to get back to them tomorrow and you get back to them same day. Or it could be something as big as they're really struggling changing their banking relationship and they don't know how to set up bill pay, and you sit there with them after hours and you painstakingly set up every bill, every stack of bill that they walked in with. And we have associates that do that. And I think there's degrees between that or on either side of that. And so exceeding expectation is really identifying what the customer's needs are, because every single situation might be a little bit different of what the customer's needs and expectations are.
Brian, your team is primarily an internal service function. So how do you think this relates to them? And what are some of the things you think about when you think about CARE?
So the way I've always kind of looked at it is, anytime you think about customer service, everyone always immediately thinks of the external customers. But I've always worked in back office areas where my customers were other bank employees. So over the years, budget, all those different things that we did in the finance area, I always encourage my team to treat all the employees that they're working with as customers, like we're a customer service organization.
And help them feel supported. I think, my organization, the same situation, I feel very strongly about, making sure that we view our work in human resources as everyone that works here is our customer, and how we make them feel about being here and the work that they do has a huge impact in turn how they treat other people and so forth. So, I think it just goes to say that if you have the philosophy that, everyone's your customer and you're treating people with care and respect, that, you're going to have a good experience, and that in turn is going to hopefully make them feel appreciated and understood. And I think that goes a long way.
To me, service really defines us and our brand. And we talk a lot about problem resolution. In my area, we bring a commercial customer on board, but it touches so many other parts of the bank: cash management, retail, wealth, consumer. It's collaboration that is the separator, right? I can't tell you how often I get feedback when we onboard a customer about how people-oriented our banking centers are. They take the time to learn the customer's name. They greet the customers when they come into the banking centers. That's a differentiator. That's how we build brand. And I think, when I look at the landscape of Western Mass, Northern Connecticut, hey, there's a bank on every corner, right? How do we differentiate ourselves from those banks? All our money is the same color. It's service, it's people. And being new to the team, a little over 2.5 years now, I can tell you that the People's brand is strong, and I look forward to the CARE. It's a great step for the organization to build it, to build on it, and create that standard of excellence.
I think it's important to remember we're all working towards the same goal. How we get to that goal, our roles are different, our personalities are all different. So when you're interacting, especially with your internal partners, it's important to recognize that they want the same thing, just you might be coming from two different places.
There's that saying, act like an owner and think like a customer. I think when you approach each day acting like an owner, you take into consideration your colleagues, and you recognize we're all here for PeoplesBank. We're all here to make PeoplesBank successful. And when I say think like a customer, think about what the customer's expectations are. And as you pointed out, those customers are not always external, they're internal. So again, act like an owner, think like a customer. I think really defines how we want to go about as an organization and take care to the next level.
I've said to all of you, my feeling about customer service, good customer service, isn't the everyday interactions when it comes to dealing with our frontline associates or the back room. Customer service shines when we have a problem. We've all had experiences with different companies, and usually you can say, oh, it's okay experience until you have a problem. My personal feeling is when you have an interaction with a company that you've had an issue with or a problem, I personally evaluate that company's customer service based on how they resolve my problem.
We take a lot of time and we try to hone in on what makes our customers tick. And that's part of a sales culture. You're trying to figure out what makes your customers tick. Maybe this will help us start taking a look at what makes each other tick. That's a plug for our different committees that we have. Find common bonds with your coworkers as well on a professional or on a personal level. That will help everybody work together a little bit better.
I think that's where the collaboration and that empathy comes in. We have to collaborate, but we have to empathize with each other about understanding what people are trying to do for their job and know what it is. And so we have to always be looking at it from their perspective as well.
I think we all work a little bit better when we have something in common with somebody that we can joke about or that we can talk about that's not work related. And I think that's also part of having a service culture, is really actually getting along with each other. And I think that's important.
So thank you all for spending some time this morning just talking through your thoughts about this important work and giving some perspective. I think that it's always great to hear from the leaders of any organization and hear from your mouths what you think this means and how important it is and why we're doing this. And so I appreciate your time, and I'm sure that our viewers will appreciate your time as well.